Bonjour everyone, welcome to another diecast showcase. So today we are going to be doing a little Friday finds video. So yeah, the reason why this is what you see on your screen is that a lot of this stuff came from good old Toys R Us. So just put everything in the same bags just to make sure it'd be easy to go through. And yeah, pretty sizable haul. It's not bad. It's been a while since I was able to find enough stuff to actually substantiate a find show. So hope you enjoy. So this stuff is from many different places, basically. Well, many different places. Grocery store, toy store / retail store, and a couple thrift store finds too, basically, that I wanted to show. So yeah, without further ado, we will get right into it, I guess. So first and foremost, we're going to start with, as mentioned before, the loose stuff. So not anything crazy. I did find some loose 1/64 scale cars. One of them being this. Actually, it's not this one, but this is it's actually the alternate color of this one. This is a BMW early 7 Series, the first generation 7 Series, a 733 by Majorette. It's a metal base, metal body, made in France. You know, as usual, suspension, the early tri-spoke wheels, and opening doors. I've shown this one before, basically. So there were during the made in France era, there were 2 colorways available of this car, and I was fortunate enough to find the second colorway. So you got the silver gray here, and you've got the seafoam green kind of going on there. It's not quite seafoam because it's not very bluish. It's like a very light silvery green, basically, but it's the same exact casting. This one has less rusty axles, but almost no chrome left on the wheels. These were quality though, because you can see the bases are still super shiny. It's exactly the same car, same 1/60th scale, same lensed rears, same tow hitch, same 733 badge cast into the trunk lid, and same opening doors that give you access to that same white interior as well as the bluish tinted windows. So just wanted to put them side by side so you can see the color difference, basically. But yeah, so we've got this guy here that's a new addition. We've also got afterwards another vintage piece. We have a Welly Porsche 959. Everybody loves a good Porsche. And yeah, so these late 80s, early 90s Welly cars didn't have any type of markings underneath, but they're easily recognizable with the wheels that are on them. So it's in pretty darn good nick. Couple flea bites here and there, but really nice super dark gray metallic color with the ever-present 90s style stripes with the 959 on the front. Not a very detailed casting, fairly well proportioned, and you got some nice clear windows with a white interior. So for something that was considered cheap diecast at the time, it's in my opinion not a bad piece to have. Next up, we will check out the Soul Hot Wheels that I decided to keep out of this mini haul, and it's another variation. I believe this is a Caddy, if I'm not mistaken. Is it a Caddy or a Packard? Caddy or Packard. Definitely the front lights, like the bullet style lights there. It looks like a Packard. So you've got the open part for the driver, and of course passengers staying nice and comfy in their little respective cubby. You got the lace wheels on this one, and I do have the two-tone maroon with black fender, older version on black walls. So this is a cool little addition as well. It's got some what is it, tuxedo center, tuxedo center on the side. So it's a pretty cool livery. It works with the style of car it is. Very Great Gatsby era, roaring 20s and whatnot there. So very, very nice. You got that Hot Wheels flame on the side, but cool variation of that cast. Not in the best of condition wheel and axle wise, but not bad at all. And the last 1/64th scale loose one is a new color variation to me of the Shelby GT500 convertible, the S197. Yeah, so it's the pre-facelift model, which I find looks better, despite the fact that the facelift model is definitely a big improvement on many aspects. I actually have another variation of this in turquoise with white stripes that I recently detailed, and this one's going to be like your plain Jane on the 5 spokes with the grabber blue and the black stripes with the black interior to match. So I like how the mirrors are integrated into the windshield. It's in pretty darn good condition as well. It's not mint per se. I mean, the windscreen does have a couple small imperfections, but the paint is definitely 100% there, or almost, if you exclude the corner or the corners of the spoiler. So yeah, very cool. Happy to add that. I find this is the best color for any Ford, so definitely happy about that. And last of the thrift store finds, definitely not the least, definitely the one I'm most happy about, would be another Welly actually. This would be I'm gonna guess about 1/38th scale Porsche 964 Turbo, and it has the little turbo SQs as well. It's got the 3-piece speed lines. It's also got the brake duct, the brake ducts, brake cooling ducts instead of the fog lights, and it's got that nice signal green paint, which is one of my favorite paints from the 964 era RS paints. So and this is a pullback, as you can see. It works really well. Still got a lot of power there. Wing is not cast into the body. It's a plastic piece, separate piece. You do have the little turbo badge on the back there. So it's not a Turbo S. Lens front and rear lights. The side markers are actually painted, as are the ones on the side here, although the paint is more or less visible, but they are painted. You can see there. This is cool as well, because despite being a windows closed model, it does have opening doors, which gives you access to see that this car is equipped with the sports seats. Nice black interior. It's not the most detailed model you'll find, but this is like the equivalent of those Kinsmart pullbacks. So it'll run you up in my area $8 to $10 depending on when you buy them. So in the US, I'm assuming it's going to be around $6, give or take. So for $6, I mean, it's the price of a Hot Wheels Premium. And look at this thing. The plastic base, not very detailed and whatnot, but most pullbacks are not that detailed anyways. So if we're talking about the bases, since you have the mechanism, the pullback mechanism to hide somewhere, but overall some nice molding details for the engine, despite the fact that there's the hole for the screws that hold it into place, because these are screwed together, so you can take them apart and do whatever you want. But overall in great condition, no missing paint, and very good quality paint on this car. A couple scuffs here and there on the roof, but pretty much the worst of it. As mentioned, a couple details missing. A little bit of silver here wouldn't be bad. Maybe emphasis on the orange, and a couple small spots of silver for the backup lights that should be there. And unfortunately, you don't have the Porsche script that should be in that middle part of that light band for the rear. But maybe a little bit of silver for the exhaust. Either way, I could peruse on this for a while, but overall I love this. I do have this one I do have this casting in 1/87th scale in white, and in 1/24th scale in lilac pink. So, and all three are wellies, so it's pretty cool to add a third scale to this. Yeah, so I remember on a trip to Italy I actually almost bought this in black, and I kind kind of happy I didn't, because I do prefer the more eccentric colors on this specific model of Porsche. So I'll try and get everything into to the shot here. There we go. So there you go, thrift store finds. We'll jump right into some the few Hot Wheels mainlines I've managed to pick up. We're starting to see a little bit of influx. These are international card. I think this is H case, if I'm not mistaken, H or J case. But I picked up the Gulf Glory Chaser. Obviously no super, but you know, as a lot of collectors are, I'm a sucker for Gulf liveries, and I do like the Glory Chaser as a casting. A lot of people don't. These are just like so reminiscent of the late 50s, early 60s, you know, kind of like the one-off special race cars. So do have the original release, and this will be number 2. So going to be either cracking the original or maybe this one. We will see, but definitely if I'm getting variations now, I am cracking them open. So it's a nice little cast, and got the retro vibes that I really like. The fact that this lighter color makes the lensed or inserted front lights pop is a big plus. So there you go. Second one that I managed to pull was one that I was actually really anticipating, which would be this 62 Corvette Gasser, but in the Holly livery. I do have the 55 Chevy Gasser in the Holly livery loose already with a few details, so this is going to look great as a pair. And you know, I'm a sucker for trying to put die-cast cars together in pairs that, you know, they really fit well together. So this is definitely a no-brainer there. Two Chevy Gassers in the Holly livery. And yeah, last single mainline would be the T-Hunt Jeep Cherokee 95. So casting I like. The model in real life, the XJ Cherokee, I do like as well. And this one, you know, lifted up with the muddy mud brown all over the wheels and base. You know, it's not my favorite, but it looks cool, and I like the fact that the livery really does give it a Paris-Dakar look. So definitely very cool. Happy to add that to the T-Hunt stash. It's one of those T-Hunts that, you know, I definitely am happy to get, because when they're licensed, I do tend to collect them. Next up, staying in the Hot Wheels, and this is probably going to be the last of the Hot Wheels if I'm not mistaken. Let me just go through quickly what I have here. Let's see what I have. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, good. Alright, so yeah, Hot Wheels. Sorry about that little delay, guys. Get this bag on the ground, but yeah, I did manage to find the infamous Nissan 5-pack. There were 2 of these on the pegs and 3 F&F 5-packs. I did not pick up the F&F one, because quite honestly, it's all repeats of casts I already have, so it's not something that I was definitely too keen to pick up. So yeah, so definitely for me, out of this 5-pack, it's hard for me to put my finger on which one I like best. But yeah, I mean, we won't take too much time on this, because this has been seen and seen and seen again. It's just my first time actually being able to pick it up, so it's not, you know, we'll just check them out quick here. So from bottom to top, we've got the custom 240Z, Fairlady Z, actually, I believe this one. So custom Z is the one with the little bit more 80s body kit there, but yeah, so that looks good in orange, with the almost like a BRE BRE X Tiger type livery, number 80, pretty cool. We've got the S13, of course, with the kanji on the side, which is great. You know, no front tampos, but the rears are there, which is great. We got the Hakosuka in purple. Great looking. I love the wide white lipped mesh wheels. That looks really good on there. Of course, the GTR 32. Fortunately, no front tampos, but those are really easy to add. And the rears are tampoed in, so that's great. And it's really cool. This color. It's kind of reminiscent. It's a little. It looks a little bit metallic, kind of reminiscent of Larry Chen's R32. And lastly, we have the Datsun 620. Cool variation. Not my favorite that's come out so far, but I like the color. I like the gold OH5s. And yeah, these 3 out of 5 have mirrors, which is great. I mean, obviously, I understand why these two don't, because they would be wing mirrors, and obviously they get broken pretty easily. And I'm assuming through the manufacturing process that would kind of require a little bit of extra work. But, you know, overall, pretty happy to get my hand on this, because, again, Nissan is my favorite brand, so car brand, should I say. All right, now we're going to jump into a heck of a lot of Maisto. Well, heck of a lot. A few, let's just say. First one, second wave of the Maisto Design lowriders is out. Of course, had to pick up the Riviera. Love these. They look good. They're very well priced. You know, should be in the US about $4 each. In Canada, they'll run you about 5 to 6. And yeah, you got the adjustable suspension, which is which, you know, I did take one apart to actually see how it works and everything, and it's pretty basic. You know, it's like basically you pull on the axles, and it's kind of scary doing so because you always get the feeling you're gonna break it, but you know, it works. So yeah, this is gonna look great with the box Chevy from the same series from the previous wave, so that is awesome. Happy to get my hands on that. And you know, really cool pinstriping, some candy paint, you know, wire wheels, white wall tires, you know, everything you'd want on a lowrider. Plus it's got the plaque in the back there that you may or may not be able to see. You get a little peek of it there, so yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. Happy to add. This is my favorite body style Riviera anyways, so definitely something I'm happy to get my hands on. I bought also 2 of the second wave of the Harley Davidson Custom Series, also from Maisto Design. Bought 2, one for the wheels and one for the actual casting, basically. So the Mustang itself is, you know, I already have a variation of, well, same for the Biscayne wagon, but Mustang I have in a transport in a really cool livery. And what I love about this one is not only the really cool nitrous bottle set up in the trunk, which hard to see, but let's see, let me get a good, there you go, you can see it there. So you got the dual NOS bottles in the trunk, and it's pretty cool. What I really love about this cast is the wheel setup. You've got really like the centerline wheels with the big fat rubber in the back and the skinnies in the front. So I'm going to be taking these wheels basically and putting it on the Biscayne, which has the big chromies, basically the kind of like foos looking 5-spoke wheels that are kind of reminiscent to exaggerated Krager or torque thrust style wheel. So I'm going to be taking those bad boys off, putting in the drag setup from the Mustang. So obviously to do that, well, we will have to crack them open, right? So let's do that right away. Always like good cracking of diecast, so very easy to open, very easy to unpackage. Comes in a little plastic clamshell like this, and here's the wheel setup. It's going to be going on the wagon. Sorry for that racket, guys. And guys, seriously, don't sleep on these Maistos. They're really good. They're a little bit bigger than 1/64th, and I did notice also a really cool thing that they started doing on their packaging. If you can see here, 1/64th refers to the approximate scale size. Some variations may exist, which is cool because, I mean, despite it being part of the 1/64th line, they're not flaunting it as being true 1/64. These are slightly larger. They're more like 160 or 158, you know, in that range. So yeah, this wheel setup is freaking awesome. Look at that exhaust detail. It does have an opening hood with a cool chrome V8 with the red. Had a nice red heads, so fully detailed, you know, plastic base, so that cuts down on the cost. Also on the weight, you got the big chrome steering wheel per usual, a la Jada, and there's your rear end. Definitely a very cool one. And these are super easy to take apart. They're screwed together, so yeah, we're gonna get these wheels on this bad boy right here. Sucker for wagons. This is my second variation of this one, and that way I don't have to get the other one loose. But I love the color scheme on this one, the Harley Davidson color scheme. As you can see, the wheel setups are compatible one with the other, which is great. And I think the Mustang will look really good, honestly, on these wheels right here. Actually, they look more like Boyd Coddington wheels or something like that. But yeah, they're going to be going on the Mustang. Again, yeah, this one does not have an opening hood. Which is cool though, is that there is a rear glass, and a lot of Chevy wagon castings like this, example the Hot Wheels ones, they don't have the glass in the back, which I always find is kind of a letdown. This one does. Open window cast for both the front and the rear windows, which is a little bit unusual. Pretty much impossible to see the inside of this thing because it's all black, except for, of course, the huge chrome steering wheel, per usual. And yeah, you got the Harley deco on there, so this should look really good. Should look really, really good once I put the alternate set of wheels on there. A little bit of a fail on the tampo application there. But yeah, and slightly less detailed base, but you know what, this is a cool casting. I love this casting. I think it's going to look really, really good once we swap over those wheels. Now the last Maisto that we're going to be checking out, and we're also going to be unboxing, is probably the best Maisto Design team hauler that I'm going to be adding to the collection. I jumped on this as soon as I saw it. It is this bad boy right here. There we go. We'll focus on that for a second. So we've got the Toyo Tire sponsored trailer being hauled by a big G-Wagon, and we have an E30 M3 in the back. Now obviously, as you can see, these cars compared to the other are not in scale, but that doesn't really matter, because ever since the mainline fresh metal Maisto M3 casting has come out, I was anxiously waiting for them to release it in their design, their premium line. So it's done, and this is the second one. There was also in the Transporter series, the M3 that was also produced with kind of like an M type livery. I think I prefer this one better. This is really the star of the show for me for the Maisto additions to the collection. So let's take these out, see if I can get this done without completely wrecking the package. Alright, so we're going to push these back a little bit just to make more room, and then we're going to check them out. Alright, we'll put these a little bit farther as well. And Mustangs want to kiss each other, eh? Alright, so we've got first and foremost your big old G-Wagon with that huge tow hook. Right. Then you've got your trailer right here. And of course, last but not least, the reason for me buying this, at least 85% of the reason, maybe 90%, is this really, really nice M3. Look at this piece, guys. Tell me this is not worth the purchase price, which is actually pretty darn low. These are not that expensive. I mean, we're talking about probably what, 12 bucks, 14 bucks if you buy them at Walmart. So This is really well done. I love the wheels on here too. Look at these cool mags. Well done. Non-staggered square setup, which is great. That's what they came with from the factory. I'm trying to read what's on the rear fender there, but it's extremely hard to read. The cursive, at least, is extremely hard to read. But yeah, really, really well done. Look at that tamper work. There's a little bit of a, sorry about that, a little bit of a packaging. Wow. Badges are really well done as well. Lights are perfect. Again, you know, missing a little bit of silver for the exhaust, but that's so easy to add that I don't even mind. Same for the front, well done as well. You know, the front lights are just silver, so they don't have a whole lot of depth, but I mean, the fact they did the pinstripe on the bumpers and that really cool heart key stripe, heart key looking stripe. And I mean, you can't go wrong black with gold detailing. I mean, this thing is definitely really, really nice. Very happy to add this to the collection. And yeah, basically, that's pretty much it for the Maisto. We'll finish off with two Greenlights that I bought. They just dropped a new series at the Toys R Us. And it's actually a Pikes Peak International Hill Climb series with the Gran Turismo sponsorship, and this is the first wave of these. So here's what's in there. I picked up two of these basically, despite all of them being there. I almost picked up the Javelin, but I do already have two Greenlight Javelin casts, and I'm not buying any more of them until I crack at least one of them, which I'm still in the decisional process of which one I should crack. So basically, you've got a few stats on here, and this is like a really, really fresh release. We actually have a 2023 release date, so very fresh. Yeah, so Plymouth Savoy, good looking cast, but I've got a bunch of M2 Savoys already, or a bunch of M2, that body style basically, be it Chrysler or Dodge or Plymouth. And the Bronco I didn't pick up. It's a cool one, but I mean, again, I already have a couple of them. So again, oh, and the Cuda, it definitely looks good. It's all black. It's got the kind of like Panasport looking wheels and whatnot. So that gives you an idea of which ones I did pick up. First and foremost, the Impala, 67 Impala. I do have a loose version of this casting, but it's in a very more custom style. This one, I mean, you know, the color is great. It's kind of like a bluish green, very metallic, but a fine metallic flake. So it looks very period, and the flake looks to scale for the car, if that makes any sense. Black steelies, always a win, and the usual great quality detail work by Greenlight on these. So very cool livery. I like the fact they put the driver name, and these are cars that actually went up the hill. So yeah, it's very, very cool series. Definitely like it. Can't wait for series 2. So we got this one, and we'll finish off with the one that I absolutely had to pick up because I've been wanting to pick up a Greenlight cast of this car. The 1980 Firebird Trans Am. So this seems to be a turbo model based on the wheels. So potentially a 301 turbo V8, the 4.9 liter. I'll have to see if eventually I'll crack this open to check what's under the hood, the opening hood. We'll see at that point. So yeah, you know, look at all that. That's really very pace car looking, you know. I like this a lot. I find that the rear is a little bit off in its proportions if we're talking about the light placement. But the front end is literally spot on. So, and you got the fire chicken on the hood, so that is great. So, all in all, think not a bad haul, honestly. Not a bad haul at all. So hopefully you enjoyed going through these with me. You know, if ever you have a favorite in these, let me know. Which one did you like best? And of course, like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully, you guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you on the next one. Stay safe, happy hunting, take care.